Hey guys, it's StarrySky and welcome to my nature DPS video. Now in this video it's going to be featuring my full harvest loadout, and I'm going to be going through the PowerPoints, the loadout, the rotation behind it, and show you how to clip all those horrible nature cast times. And I'll be telling you which weapons are best to use with it, and even showing you how to use phase dodge from the super speed tree, so you're able to clip the animation from the powers. Now for this one, since you can use a phase dodge, I would recommend for people who are really interested in nature DPS to change from whatever movement they are to super speed. Overall, I just generally think it's the best power for DPSs. So anyway, let's go straight to the PowerPoints and get started. So straight to the plants tree, and we want to put a PowerPoint in Vine Lash, Savage Growth, Thorn Shield, Briar, Impaling Thorns, Harvest. And the Shapeshifter tree, we want to put a PowerPoint in Raw, Prime Wolf form, and then it's up to you guys, but you can put a PowerPoint in Metabolism, Rampage, or Regeneration, so it unlocks Canine form, leading down to Carnage. Preferably I prefer Regeneration, because when I do solo content or maybe some duos and I want a little bit of healing or some power, this works out really nice. But if you just want to do some more damage, put it in Rampage. Like I said, or even Metabolism, it's just really good, so one of those three is probably the best option to run it in. And the Iconics, you want Weapons Expert, Tactical Genius, and if the PowerPoint's left over, it's up to you where you want to put them again, but I've put them in the 100% HP and in the extra defense. So Nano Weave Armor and Powerful Resistance. Right, now to the loadout. Okay, so we have Vine Lash, Briar, Harvest, Phase Dodge, Impaling Thorns, Carnage. So the rotation to this one is we want to apply our dots from Vine Lash and Briar, and we're going to use Harvest to spread the dots from the single target, and then now I would spread the dots onto everything nearby, making it become a AoE damage over time. And then we want to use Phase Dodge to clip them, and we use Impaling Thorns for pretty much after the thing is part of a rotation. We do this, we use Impaling Thorns 3 times before we start the rotation over again to apply the dots. And then we have Carnage, which increases our precision and mostly it increases our critical or strike chance. Now I will show you why the benefits of this one in a moment. A most important part though is to clip in Phase Dodge. It's simply, which I will show you in a bit, but a good helpful tip to how to apply the dots is you want to tab lock onto a target, and then you apply the two single damage over times, and then use Harvest afterwards. Now the reason why I say to use tab lock for, or hard lock, whatever you like to call it, is so that you just, if there's a big group of ads, so if you tab lock, you will hit the same target instead of just like aiming at one target and it could die, and then it could go on to another target. So you've wasted one dot on one target and a dot on another target. And if you use Harvest, it could only apply the one dot to everything instead of applying both dots. So use your hard lock onto a target, apply both dots, and then Harvest, and it will spread 2 dots onto everything. Right, so saying that, let's get to the clipping. So as I said earlier on, the best weapons for this is, preferably the best weapon overall, is rifle. But you can use hand blasters, dual wield, staff, anything with a tap or a hold range function, so you can clip Phase Dodge. Now first of all, with Phase Dodge, as you see, this is what Phase Dodge does. Literally, you just press your button and it just vibrates your molecules. But if you try clipping it with a power, it won't work. The reason why I say rifle is the best for it is because when you press face dodge, all you have to do is simply tap range and it clips face dodge itself. So when you apply a power and then you face dodge, it will clip the animation of that power, and then you tap range or hold range like with dual wield and it'll clip face dodge. It's like clipping two powers in a matter of a second. So anyway, like I said earlier on, we want to hard lock onto a target, and as before I said, like, you know, you've got horrible cast times like this. You've got Vine Lash, you've got Briar, and then you've got Harvest. Right, that's a lot of cast time, and by the time you've done that, like cards like Mental could have just, you know, done thousands. So what we're looking to do is we're looking to clip the animation completely and do the rotation in just like a matter of like a couple of seconds, so we can get straight to using our weapon and using Pale and Thorns to hit the big crits. And with using rifle, since you're tapping range to do the grenade, you get an AoE damage while clipping face dodge. So as I mean, like we use face dodge, tap range, and we get the grenade, and it's all AoE. So literally, what we want to do, the first part to it is we want to use Vine Lash, and then face dodge, and then tap range. As you can see that, we got Vine Lash's damage over time, and we clipped it with face dodge, and then we clipped face dodge with the range. So again, it will look like this. Vine Lash, face dodge, tap range. Completely clipped it. So then after that, we want to do Vine Lash, face dodge, Briar, face dodge, and then tap range again. So Vine Lash, face dodge, tap range, Briar, face dodge, tap range. So Vine Lash, face dodge, tap range, Briar, face dodge, tap range. I'm gonna get some power back, I'll do it even quicker. As you can see, we applied our both dots in a matter of seconds. So let's get a little more power back again, and I will do it once more again. So Vine Lash, face dodge, tap range, Briar, face dodge, tap range. There we go, both dots. And then the next part is we want to use Harvest to apply the dots. And Harvest is really good because it applies it to a massive nearby area, so it becomes an AoE dot over time. So what we want to do is, so we can do Vine Lash, face dodge, tap range, Briar, face dodge, tap range, Harvest, face dodge, tap range. And there we go, we applied both dots, and then Harvest would have spreaded it onto everything. And we repeat this about 3 times after we've used Impale and Thorns. So if I can get enough power from this training dummy, I might be able to do the whole rotation. Maybe. So let's drop a supply drop and get going. Completely ran out of power, but you see the rotation and how fast I was clipping it. As you can see, the reason why this loadout is called Full Harvest is because it makes the full out of well, out of use and harvest the most, the full use out of it. So I just called it Full Harvest. And I will show you why Carnage is in the loadout. But the superchargers for nature themselves are pretty bad, so we use Carnage as a buff for us and other players. So let's pop Carnage, and then go to the actions, and we'll scroll down and have a look at the buff. Carnage is a 50% damage modifier, but look at all this. An extra 115 precision for 24 seconds. But the best thing though It's a 10% critical weapon attack chance and 10% critical ability attack chance for 24 seconds. This means that for 24 seconds we have an extra 10% on our weapon and our powers to crit. So if you can imagine the if we buff this as much as possible, we can imagine how many crits we're going to get with our dots. It's severely overpowered and it does an incredible amount of damage. Also, for people to notice, Impaling Thorns also gives a crit buff. And I'll show you what I mean. So, Impaling Thorns, and let's go to the actions. So every time we use Impaling Thorns, look at this. We get a 10% critical ability attack chance for 3/4 of a second. So what this literally means, as soon as we've hit it, on top of what we've popped Carnage, this will give us an extra 10%. So when we pop Carnage and we use an Impaling Thorns, so we get 20% critical ability attack chance for Impaling Thorns to crit on its second hit. And that's like, what, 4,000 or 5,000 at a time? My highest so far is 7.2k with Impaling Thorns. We get a lot of crit buffs. So anyway, just quickly one more time for the rotation, and then let me know what you guys think. So Vine Lash, phase dodge, tap range. Briar, phase dodge, tap range. Harvest, phase dodge, tap range, and then we use Impaling Thorns and tap range 3 times. So Vine Lash, phase dodge, tap range. Briar, phase dodge, tap range. Harvest, phase dodge, tap range. And pop the soda quickly. Impaling Thorns 3 times. Tap range, Impaling Thorns. Tap range, Impaling Thorns. Fire, tap range. And I'm completely out of power. One thing to do though is be careful with your controllers. This is very power intensive. You need high VIC controllers to constantly power this for you. And yes, before anyone asks, it does do a lot of damage in T4 content and below. Now the reason to this for is because you're using the rifle to do a lot of instant AoE damage, and you're able to apply your dots in a matter of seconds and make it AoE thanks to phase dodge and being able to clip it. So anyway guys, as usual, I appreciate the views and the subs. It's really great. I'm really grateful to all the tips you are giving me. And also, as usual, any questions or any thing you'd like to add to information wise, please leave it in the comment section or send me a private message. So until next time guys, thanks for watching.
Beware my power. Green Lantern's light!